Now, White Pine County Daily News with Wyatt Cox.
And KELY News, sponsored by Sahara Motors. Ready for all seasons? The Kawasaki Ridge XR Crew Limited HVAC side-by-side keeps you cool in the summer, dry in the rain, and warm in the winter. Conquer any trail, creek, or blizzard while staying comfortable the whole way. Check one out today over at Sahara Motors and tell Sandy and the whole crew that we sent you by, won't you please? Fair skies today, but we do have a slight chance of Tuesday night snow. Today's high will just get up to 44 degrees. Well, White Pine County Commissioners worked through a short Thanksgiving Eve agenda for the first time in recent memory on Wednesday. Starting with plans to sell a county-owned parcel near the hospital, officials confirmed the land is not landlocked, and the buyers arranged additional access through 16th Street and nearby alleys. The public auction pushed from January 28th to February 11th, and approved funding from the Economic Development Fund was approved to cover appraisal costs. Commissioners also updated the fiscal year 2027 budget timeline. Because federal audit numbers won't be finalized until January, department budget meetings were moved to mid-January, with all budget requests due February 3rd and formal presentations set for February 11th. Now, the board also reviewed project costs for the duck pond renovation. Current bids came in $200,000 over budget, and that prompted discussions about relocating the birds instead of building a temporary pond to cut expenses. Some people were unhappy with what commissioners had to say about this.
I would like to see just a horse trailer, load up the ducks and geese, take them to come and slay. Then you don't have to worry with them. These geese and ducks are wild.
Why can't you harvest them? They sell ducks and geese every day. Give them to the poor. Give them to the senior center. Who's going to know whether Melvin the duck is there anymore?
They're probably old and not tasty.
Well, okay.
And those comments from Commissioners Paula Carson and Hank Vogler have taken a lot of serious heat from members of the public. A hearing may be held before any decision is made. And commissioners acknowledged a letter from the N4 Grazing Board warning that changing land and road access is harming local agriculture and wildlife. The board may issue its own statement as discussions continue. Well, we have a week's worth of news from the White Pine County Sheriff's Office Tuesday through Saturday. Deputies started the week assisting a stranded driver handling 2 car versus deer crashes on county highways. In Ely, they responded to drugs found inside a casino, a harassment report involving a child, and a false alarm at a local business. A dog at large complaint logged on Tuesday. One booking reported Christopher Rosales Perez serving time from a prior arrest. On Wednesday, deputies trespassed a disruptive individual from a convenience store and investigated a minor crash. A domestic disturbance had been resolved before they arrived. Reports of shots fired near another store turned up nothing. Deputies arrested 28-year-old Tyler Davenport of Caldwell, Idaho, after he crashed into a tree. He was cited for driving without a license and booked on a Las Vegas warrant. In another case, a man at a healthcare facility reported he accidentally shot himself during a road rage incident. Deputies also addressed a false shooting report and a medical alert alarm that turned out to be accidental. Calls continuing on Thursday, deputies looked into phone threats involving stolen personal information and a welfare check on a worker who hadn't shown up, who was later found to be all right. Deputies' reports of a reckless driver and a loose dog passed along to the proper agencies. Deputies handled a juvenile with a vape, a hit and run, and property damage to a kicked-in door. 2 persons arrested in Ely, 53-year-old Sonny Peterson on a warrant and 36-year-old Michael Mike on charges including DUI, property damage, driving on a revoked license, and obstructing an officer. And on Friday, deputies handled welfare checks, a theft, reckless driving, and a 911 hang-up. A reckless driver who forced another vehicle off the highway was cited. In Ely, deputies again invested drug activity at a casino and arrested 52-year-old Justin Ortiz for possession of a controlled substance. Ortiz and Ricky Yount, arrested by state police on DUI and firearms charges, booked into the White Pine County Jail. And on Saturday, deputies responded to 2 separate alarm reports, both turning out to be false. Fire crews and deputies also checked a reported structure fire, which was already out when they arrived. A broken water line in the city referred to Public Works. Deputies investigating a fraud case involving undelivered cattle, while a second beef purchase complaint forwarded to Eureka County. One driver, Sierra McPherson of Idaho Falls, cited after making an improper left turn that caused a minor crash at East Altman and Great Basin Boulevard. Deputies also handled a domestic disturbance at a hotel and determined a reported stolen vehicle to be a civil matter. No new bookings reported. A new study shows Nevada seniors seeing one of the biggest jumps in fraud in the nation. TheSeniorList.com reports scams targeting older Nevadans are up 52% year over year, with more than 3,000 cases and over $21 million in reported losses. Researchers say online shopping schemes, phishing emails, and fake delivery notices driving the surge, with 62% of scam seniors falling victim to online shopping fraud nationwide. Seniors lost $1.5 billion in just the first half of 2025. That's up 18% from a year ago. At 8:18 for Sahara Motors, that's a check of news from the state of Nevada.
You see lots of commercials on television telling you to drive a little and save a lot. Dealers wanting you to drive to Salt Lake, Elko, Reno, and even Las Vegas. But ask them one question. What happens if there's a problem? Do you have to drive 3, 4, or even 6 hours to get service? Here at Sahara Motors in Ely, we service everything we sell right here in White Pine County. Shop here first, get our best deal, and you get that best deal by telling Shauna that Wyatt sent you by. Then if you want, shop other places. When you account for the drive, you'll find that it pays you to be a part of the Sahara Motors family. Stop by Sahara Motors, just about a mile north of Ely on US 93. Sahara Motors, we are White Pine proud.
Tell Shauna Wyatt sent you by.